The sensation was always a relief, like taking off a corset that was 3 sizes too small. I felt the familiar weight settle on my brow as my horns curled up from my forehead, dark and sharp. My tail unspooled from the base of my spine, a nervous, whip-like appendage that twitched in the suddenly cramped space. And my wings, leathery, sensitive, and massive, tore through the magical veil, unfurling to their full, room-filling span. The tips of them brushed against the china cabinet behind my chair, making the little glass figurines inside rattle. "I'm a demon," I blurted out into the suffocating silence that followed. I opened one eye. Mom and Dad were staring, their mouths hanging open, forks suspended halfway to their faces. Anne just took a slow, deliberate sip of her water. The technical term is succubus, I guess. I rushed on, the words tumbling out like water from a broken dam. I need sustenance. To survive, in the form of life energy, which I get through physical intimacy, basically every day. I felt Silas's hand find mine under the table again. This time he didn't just squeeze, he interlaced our fingers, his thumb rubbing soothing circles over my knuckles. It was an anchor in the storm of my parents' shock. "I haven't killed anyone, though," I added quickly. "So I didn't get arrested and paraded on the news, and the SIA, the Supernatural Intelligence Agency, they know. Say it's okay, and I'm working with them as a consultant." I gestured vaguely to the 2 men beside me. "That's what Ezra and Silas are. They aren't just colleagues, they're SIA, they handle me." "Handle you," Dad repeated, his voice faint as he stared at my tail. Ezra cleared his throat, the sound authoritative, drawing every eye. "We ensure Lillian's safety, sir, and we help her manage her unique biological requirements. She's a signatory with high-level clearance, vital to national security." "Vital," Mom echoed, her gaze snapping back to me. The shock was breaking, replaced by a mother's inquisition. "What's this about needing sex constantly?" The interrogation was excruciating. We talked about numbers, logistics, health, and safety. "At least a couple thousand partners if you count random acts," I admitted, shrinking into my chair as my wings drooped. "You what?" both parents bellowed in unison. "We vet all potential partners," Ezra interjected smoothly, lying through his teeth to save me. "Lillian's health is strictly monitored. We take every precaution. And you," Dad pointed his fork at Silas, "are you one of these vetted partners?" Silas didn't flinch. His grip on my hand tightened, a silent promise. "We do what is necessary to keep Lillian stable and operational. Our relationship is multifaceted." It was the most diplomatic way of saying we haven't slept together yet due to regulations, but we both want to devour her that I had ever heard. The dinner continued, a surreal mix of horror and dawning acceptance. Mom asked about STDs. Dad asked about binding contracts. Anne laughed until she nearly choked on her potatoes. By the time dishes were done and Mom had cornered me in my childhood bedroom for the emotional heart-to-heart, I was utterly drained. The stress of the confession had burned through what little energy I had left. "You're so brave," she whispered, hugging me tightly after I'd explained everything. "But you're still my little girl. Promise you'll call me, no matter what." "I promise," I sobbed into her shoulder. She left the room, closing the door softly. I collapsed onto the bed, my wings aching, my body trembling with a cold that blankets couldn't fix. I was safe with my family, yes, but physically, I was starving. A soft knock came at the door. It opened before I could answer. Ezra and Silas slipped inside, the click of the lock echoing in the quiet room.
Want to keep the flame ignited without having to wait for the next part? You can find the full, tantalizing tale on our main page. See the link in the description.